What up, racers? It's August 30th, 4 o'clock Eastern. Let's go ahead and do the next race. This is the fourth race of the season in the RC Pro-Am division. And in case you're tuning in for the first time, this RC Pro-Am division is basically the rookie of the rookies division. It's sort of the division that we are using to learn a little bit more about the game before we jump into the Formula One track or the NASCAR track. So this is where all the racers kind of battle it out. In the future, I kind of see this division as where all racers start. It's a cool car, got some cool colors, and it's an easy way to kind of get everybody's feet wet with the game. But like I said, after a season or two of perfecting it through the RC Pro-Am side, we'll start creating our journeys through the Formula One track as well as the NASCAR track. But let's go ahead and get this race underway. I've got Mark D and AJ Dudney's car highlighted from Montana Motors. If you watched the last race, AJ Dudney took his first checkered flag. It was a great race. He led it for most of that race. Great race, worth watching. Both of these guys are new. They're going to oversee Montana Motors for a little while. But luckily they're with us. Glad to have them. We've got another driver for the first time on the block today, and that is Jafari Blackwood. Jafari Blackwood is joining us with Team Sandlot. He will be racing with Dylan Jacob Smith, and this will be, like I said, his first foray into the MVP Racing League. And there are your teams, same teams as the last race. Nobody's new except Jafari Blackwood, and so he's going to be making his debut. Let's go ahead and hit to the fourth race, which is going to be in Estonia. And I've ran some sims with Estonia. This is a very short track, usually 25 to 35 seconds per lap. So there's a lot of hairpin turns, but like I said, it's a quick race. So we're going to move the number of cars to 17 to allow Blackwood to jump in, and we're going to move the laps to this to 25. So let's get this show on the road. This is the one lap qualifier. Again, I'll say this every race because there's always going to be new people tuning in, that this is not every racer on the track at once. This is everybody's qualifying lap superimposed over each other. So instead of watching 17 qualifiers, we're watching one qualifier superimposed over each other. So as you can see, Scott Justice, who has been struggling of late, was in the lead there for a second, but Nelly Selly is overtaken, and it looks like Selly might eke this out and snag the pole. Ooh, what a finish. It looked like Cam snuck by Nelly Selly at the end, and he sure did. Quiet Racing snuck by 0.2 of a second. My goodness, what a qualifier. Scott Justice comes out of nowhere after struggling for the first few races. Good to see him back on the top here near the pole position. And then let's see who finished last. Oh, it's me. Joe Chapman finished last for Quiet Racing, so Quiet Racing snagged the pole in the top and also in the bottom. So let's go ahead and get over to the race. Cam is going to be starting out on the pole in his Quiet Racing black car with Scott Justice on his tail already. And as you can see, lots of turns in this race. I'm expecting a pretty decent amount of damage. You can see Burnout's already got some damage to his car in the back of that, banging up against Chapman. Cam is out to a pretty healthy lead over Justice right now. Some very difficult turns in this race. Lots of damage already. As you can see, Selly and Blackwood have some damage already. Blackwood's already in third place. Nice battle here. Justice has taken the edge on Camden. Just missed it. Now he's going to go inside and takes the lead. Scott Justice. Unbelievable. Scott has had a tough go at it for the first three races. Good to see him out in front. I know he's been frustrated. Look at him battle Cam and still maintains the lead. Let's see where else we can go. Tim Burkhart just ran into the wall. He is already almost on fire. He is in the pits. Burkhart with a tough day at the office already. On lap 2 already in the pit. And he's out there trying to get back into this race. Let's head back up to number 3 and see last week's winner, AJ Dudney, with Glinsky, who won the first 2 races on his tail. Glinsky looking to bounce back after a poor performance last week. Chapman has come all the way from the back, all the way to number 6. Nice driving so far. Dylan Jacob Smith on his tail. Chapman has yet to pit. That's why he has been able to sneak up, both him and Jacob Smith. Oh my gosh, a big bang into the wall there for Chapman. Burnout's already in the pits again. Burnout's having a tough day. Man, oh man, what a race. This is going to be an interesting finish. There is a lot of race left in this one. Burkhart flying out there trying to keep in front of Chapman. Chapman went from 6th all the way to 17th on that pit. So Dylan Jacob Smith at the bottom of the screen is pitting, as is Jafari Blackwood. Cam is now in first. He held the pole well. Justice just stole it from him again. Let's look at Jack Straw, who finished in the podium, number 2 in the last race, looking good here in the number 4 spot. Nelly Selly and AJ, and then Cantalupi and Mark Dudney. Wow, some banging going on. Lipa just hit the wall really hard, took some damage out of that car. Burnout's battling him here for 12th and 13th. Burkhart in 14th, Chapman in 15th, Blackwood in his first race in 16th, with Watterson rounding out the field here. Let's head back up to the top and see what's going on. Wayne Glinsky, a familiar face, in first place. Nelly Selly coming up all the way up into 2nd. Some great driving so far here on lap number 8. Scott Justice hanging up there, still in a podium finish right now, nearing probably the third way through this race. This one's going to be a banger, I can already tell you. Looks like Scott Justice and Nelly Selly are pretty hungry. Glinsky, after a poor finish, looks pretty hungry. Lots of wrecking in this race, my goodness. We've got a few pitters that have already pitted twice. Cam, who grabbed the pole, is sitting in 5th right now, battling Mark Dudney. And we've got some more pits. Another tough pit here with Glinsky coming in. Nelly Selly's out. Nelly Selly's dropped into 8th. And Glinsky has fallen off the top. That pit really hurt both of those, but maybe it will benefit them later in the race. Lap 10 here. Nelly Selly out to number 7 with Glinsky in 8, Wetmore in 9th. Let's watch Wetmore race here a little bit. You can tell that looks to be a little bit of a graphical glitch when they come off of pit row. Straw in 10th right now. Jafari Blackwood's moved up a little bit into 11th. Scott Justice coming around looking for his 11th lap here. Let's move back up to the leaderboard. We've got Scott Justice. There he is. He's in number 1. Cam is right behind him. Nice little battle here. These cars are all over the track right now. Cam and Justice just battling. Oh my goodness. Cam trying to get him on the inside, but Scott does a great job holding him off. But then Cam takes over, then Scott takes back over. Then Cam takes back over. Man, what a race there at the top. Let's go down and look at last race's winner, AJ Dudney. Hanging up there in 5th place. Dylan Jacob Smith right behind him. Glinsky's working his way back up. He's only pitted once. Let's take a look at old Glinsky here. Justice coming into the pits. Cam is back in first. It's coming up on Morgan. Buddha looking to pass him here, lap him. Takes the inside. Buddha doesn't want to give anything to Cam, slowing Cam down a little bit. Cam's not going to be happy with that, taking a little bit of damage trying to get past the lap car. Justice and AJ battling right there. Nice move on the inside by Justice. Lap 15 is started for both of those racers. And we got a new leader up here, Nelly Selly. Some nice racing going on here. Here comes Selly around. He's going to end up on Buddha's tail. Selly's going to go ahead and pit. Interesting graphical glitch right there where the tree is actually being bumped into on pit row. The good thing is everybody's bumping into it. Cantaloupe in 5th. See him take these turns right here trying to catch Cam, who's in 4th. Jack Straw is dropped down to 7th. Burnout, who's been a middle of the pack racer for the first couple of weeks, right there in the middle of the pack. Jafari Blackwood here in his debut. Glinsky and Justice with another huge battle up here for first place. I said in the beginning, those two look pretty hungry in this race. Poor Lipa said he wanted to stick with hockey. Lipa's back here in 16th, 15th place. Tim Burkhart right in front of him. Marlin Motors not having a good showing in this race. Watterson's been struggling too. But back to the leaderboard, we got Glinsky and Justice still battling. Cam just took over Glinsky for 2nd place. Starting to get a little overcast here. Most of these racers have already pitted 3 times in this race. Like I said, I was expecting a lot of damage in this race with these tight turns and a lot of banging going 2 wide, sometimes 3 wide. Scott Justice has the lead here. Decent lead. Here he is on the straightaway, heading into lap number 20. Cam is in 2nd with Glinsky in 3rd and Cantaloupe in 5th. This is a crazy track. It's so much to watch. It's like ants running around in a anthill. Glinsky's smoking a little bit. Both him and Cantaloupe are both smoking. They're going to likely need to pit here. Chapman has dropped to 10th. Blackwood's trying to work his way up a little bit. Lipa moving up here. Burnout dropping into 14th. Back to the leaderboard, you got Scott Justice still struggling to get to lap Wetmore. Buddha and Wetmore have been pains in the butt trying to get past them here. Really slowing down everybody. Cam takes over Justice. There's that graphical glitch where everyone's running into the tree coming around the pits. Well, this will be their last change. Cantaloupe's on fire here. He's coming in at a great time, and so is Glinsky. This is going to be one heck of a race to the finish. Scott Justice still leading, but not by much with Cam on his tail. Again, running into Buddha, but he sneaks past Buddha. Buddha really not allowing people to get past him. There's going to be some upset people at the end of this race with old Morgan Buddha not letting people go by. But Buddha's a competitive guy. Nelly Selly's got the lead here. It's really going to be whoever gets around Buddha and can clear themselves. Nelly tries to do it. Now he's running into teammate Wetmore, trying to lap him. Let's see if Wetmore lets him get by. I don't know if Wetmore knows he's back there. He's just battling. We're down on lap 23. Look at these guys. 3, 4, 5 wide here. Justice holding on. Track is getting wet here. Justice still holding on, trying to get past Wetmore. If he can get past Wetmore, this race is over. We're on lap 24. Selly finally got around Buddha, so did Cam. Justice is trying to take the inside to lap Wetmore, and he does it. This might be smooth sailing here, unless Wetmore can let his teammate from Cobra Kai by. And he doesn't. Here we go. Last lap. Scott Justice, Nelly Selly, Cam, AJ, Dudney, Cantaloupe, and Glinsky all trying to make a move here. But Scott Justice is looking really good. Can his tires, can his car get him to the finish line? He's smoking. We've got Nelly Selly smoking. Cam is basically on fire here, but it looks like Scott Justice is going to do just enough to hold off Nelly Selly and take the checkered flag. And he's going to get his first win after really, look at all these guys smoking. Buddha barely finishing this race. Actually, he's still on the last lap. We got Jacob Smith and Chapman and Straw and Blackwood. Blackwood finishing 11th in his first race. Christian Lipa taking 13th. Man, this was a tough race. It's going to cost a lot of money to fix these cars back up. I'll tell you that. Look at all these cars smoking towards the end. That is awesome. Scott Justice, congratulations. MVP Motorsports had a great showing today. Taking the checkered flag as well as finishing 5th with Cantalupe. Nelly Selly makes his highest performance here. Really nice finish for him. AJ Duty almost gets on the podium for the second time. Let's see the field. You got Glinsky, who was leading that race for a little bit, is in 6th. Mark Dutney from Montana Motorsports in 7th. Nice showing there for the father-son duo. 7 and 4 spot. Dylan Jacob Smith in 8th. Chapman in 9th. Jack Straw falls from the podium all the way down to number 10. Jafari Blackwood in his debut for Team Sandlot takes the 11th spot. Tim Burkhart in 12th. Christian Lipa with Marlin in 13th. Burnout in 14th. Watterson 15th. Buddha in 16th. And Wetmore from Cobra Kai in 17th. Not a great showing there for Ripken Racing or for Marlin Motors. Bottom of the field here for both of those racing teams. But overall, that's a crazy track, man. When we start doing races on that track, you can expect 3 to 4 pits. You can expect a lot of damage and a pretty tight race at the end. Lots of changeovers. Scott Justice was leading that race. Cam was leading that race. Glinsky was leading that race. Nelly Selly was leading that race. This race had a number of people who took some chances leading it. But in the end, Scott Justice snags the 30 points, and Nelly Selly grabs the 25 points, and Cam finishes on the podium for the second time, grabbing that 22 for Quiet Racing. Well, that's number 4 race in the books. Not sure when number 5 race will happen. Maybe it happens today. Maybe it happens tomorrow. It just depends. Family's out of town, so I've gotten some time to race and get some data set up. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, if you're interested in joining the league, we will always have openings. It's a super easy league for me to run, super easy league to participate in. I'm going to be letting you guys know here soon how we're going to do some growth. We're probably going to be looking at doing growth with 1 click a month, plus some bonuses that you can earn for various finishes. So thanks again for tuning in. We're 18 minutes in, but that's not bad. I hope you guys have a great rest of the evening.